Hey everybody, welcome to this video. This is Shane Smolyan from Wolf Trader Futures, and this is going to be an update on the stock ETF service. And we're going to go through each of the symbols just to kind of give you an idea of where they are. So each day we have this first page of the closing bell here that we post the stock and ETF charts, and this is really a summary of each specific market that we cover here. So we cover different markets from ETFs to stocks, even a futures market we cover here. And so these are the different symbols that we cover. We cover gold miners, Apple, Tesla, Broadcom, NVIDIA, Caterpillar, Bank of America, VIX Volatility Futures, ARK Innovation, and then SPDR Biotech. And over here, you'll see the three different signals each day. This is updated daily. And then the Tricore matrix tells you if two or three of these are aligned in the same direction, and we get a signal one way or another on these. So let's begin here with our first stock ETF symbol here, which is going to be the gold miners index. So gold miners has been in a buy 3. This has been a really good trade for us. This actually leaded the gold markets higher for a while, but this is still into this buy 3. You can see here that the Quad Lunar Cycle is in the buy, the Fed use is in the buy, and it's well ahead of the bat here. So this looks like it's continued strength here. So buy 3 signal is the strongest signal that we can give. If you take a look at Apple here, Apple does go back into this buy 2 signal here. It gaps up here on this particular news here, and you can see here the bat is well down here, so it's well into a buy. The Fed use is in a buy, and so this looks like it's going to be continued to show strength into here. This looks a lot stronger than I would say the new tech. Some of the new tech is like NVIDIA. It's kind of lagging a little bit. So it's hard to think of Apple as old tech, but in terms of if you're trying to keep up with AI and the way things are going, this is what I would call the old tech, which was the new tech, but the old tech, Apple, Google, things like that. Sometimes the money rotates back and forth between them, but right now this is in a buy 2, so this looks pretty solid here. Looking forward here. Tesla. So again, we would put this into like a new tech category here. You can see Tesla really took a big beating here back here when Elon was in the White House. You can see it's been in this choppy phase here. It's in a sell 2 right now. So you know that is the Quad Lunars in a sell and the BAT models in a sell there. So sell 2 on Tesla. So it's still in that choppy range right now, but you know, nothing too crazy. It's not really like collapsing or surging. It's just kind of in that range, but it's definitely still a sell 2 right there. For that particular stock. Next one's Broadcom. This is really one of my favorite stocks. It just works so well. If you look across the board, this one in Caterpillar, man. Let me tell you, man, these are great stocks to follow. But this particular one, and NVIDIA is pretty good too. But this one in particular, I just want to point out to you that if you just looked at the Quad Lunar Cycles here, take a look at just the Quad Lunar Cycles here. You can see these in blue. You can see that these alone have just been doing a great job of picking these moves up in Broadcom. So Broadcom has been a really powerful, I think one of the best stocks out there. I mean, it's just an incredible company. I mean, to me, I mean, I know people love other things and gold and crypto, but if you're thinking about technology, this has just been such a juggernaut, and they have so many of their chips in so many places. Really good earnings, and the funny thing about these earnings that we're starting to see, we saw this with NVIDIA too, is like there's like a mystery buyer that shows up for a lot of these tech earnings, so we don't know what's going on there, but whatever. It still had positive results, and then this is still in a buy 3. So this is one of my favorite stocks. I just think it's such a powerful company, such a positive in so many ways, and it follows the signals great. So that's still in a buy 2 right now. So that's, you know, that looks to be ready to go up there. NVIDIA, this is one, what I call this the quote-unquote the new technology. This one was a little bit lagging, so it's a little bit different than Apple. So we would call Apple kind of like Apple's the old new technology, and this is the new technology because of the AI involved. And Broadcom is kind of like in between there, you know. But this one right here, you can see that the Fed just went into the sell on 729, and it's really kind of held ground here. You can see that the Fed just really gave this wall here of resistance. You can see the Fed use down here has been dropping and dropping and dropping. It's still dropping, but it really described what happened with that earnings report, and it held up very nicely. So this particular stock has been in a sell 2. Nothing too crazy, but it's a sell to right now. The Quad Lunar is into this buy, but you can see here it broke through the bat here. It breaks through right here, and then the Fed use is also in a sell. So you got two of those in a sell, so this is in a sell two right there. So that is sell two. Nothing too crazy, but again, different stories in Apple and Broadcom for sure. All right, so going down the line here, Caterpillar, which is one of my other favorites here. This is in a buy two right now. You can see that on Caterpillar, it broke through the bat here, but you still have the Fed use in a buy here. You still have the Quad Lunar in a buy. So this remains in the buy two signal. Caterpillar, another one. Just take a look at these Quad Lunar cycles. Absolutely beautiful. Probably one of the best ones that we have here in terms of following the signals. Even the Fed use, if you look at the Fed use signals, has been spectacular. Really, it's really a great responder in terms of the Fed use and just many other signals that we have. But you know, this is a good one. It's in a buy two, and so this is good because we put this in because of, you know, it's an economic indicator too in terms of construction, especially international construction too, because they have that big international component with Caterpillar too. Bank of America, we put this one in here just in case we have issues with the bank and the bank health and, you know, things going on with the Fed, and still in a buy two signal here. So right here you can see that the Fed use is in this buy here. It's been pretty consistent here in this buy, and then the Quad Lunar's in the buy here. It's still below the bat here, but if this breaks out, this will go into a buy three. So that looks good. Another really good stock here to follow. If you take a look at just going back and looking at the history of the Fed use here on this one, it's been really, really nice. So we try to pick the symbols here that give you some nice trades on the Fed use. The Fed use is an interesting system because it works on anything. It works on stocks, it works on ETFs, it works on futures. The Quad Lunar Cycle tends to work better on stocks and futures, not so much on ETFs. It can work on ETFs, but on this particular symbol here too, the Quad Lunar Cycle has been very, very good. You can see here these blue arrows here have been the Quad Lunar Cycle too. So this has also been a really, really good symbol for us. We're getting a lot of good feedback about this too. So we try to pick some stocks in here that give us an overall kind of pulse of the markets, just overall technology, construction, banks. This is a damning chart for the bears. This is the VIX volatility. I had to go over to the futures on this one because I was doing the VXY or one of those ETFs, and it went crazy. It had like a stock split, and then it stopped working on the chart, so I had to redo this. But the futures are more stable anyway. But you can see this is a sell three, and so this is pretty damning for the bears. The fact that we're into this sell three right here, you have the Fed use in a sell here, which is, you can see it down here going into the sell. You can see that the Quad Lunar Cycle's in the sell, and then it breaks through the bat here. So, you know, this is, for those of you who aren't aware, the volatility often runs opposite of the markets, and you have all three of these now running to the downside. So to me, this is a bullish sign for overall equity markets. So we include that there too for you guys. Again, this is the stock ETF service. You guys are interested in this. These are the exact charts that I post. I post these every day, but I'm just doing like a weekly review here with you guys. This is ARKK Innovation. This is another one of the quote unquote new technologies. You can see that it had a similar bend here that that NVIDIA had here on the Fed use. You can see the Fed use is still here. It goes into the sell on 730 and kind of 730. Goes into the sell on 730 and just kind of creates this wall right here. It's very, very nice looking Fed use here. You can see it's just on the down slope. And then, but the bat here, you see the bat on this one, it optimized so it's really, really far from the price. So you can see the bat is well into a buy still here, and you have the Quad Lunar in a buy. So this is still in a buy here. Also, Bitcoin is in a buy too also. So, you know, that looks pretty stable for stocks. I mean, overall, I mean, if you think about the VIX and you think about Bitcoin, I look at these other third-party, I guess, correlated indexes like the VIX and Bitcoin. They look pretty solid still, especially for the S&P. Our final one here is going to be SPDR Biotech. This is one that I put in here, and this is a fan favorite. So some people like to trade the biotech markets. This is a buy three here. You can see here that the Fed use is in a buy down here. The Quad Lunar's in the buy here, and then it's well above the bat here. So this is breaking out. So you have all three of these breaking out to the upside. So that looks pretty healthy there. That one kind of has a mind of its own. It's kind of interesting, and I like it because it's different than the other markets, and it responds very well also to the Fed use. You can go back and see just a lot of these signals have been very, very good on this. Even the, if you look at the reds here, the Fed uses, they've been tracking this very, very well, and even the blue ones here, the Quad Lunars, have been doing a pretty good job here. The Quad Lunars do a better job with the stocks, I guess because it's one company, but it can work out well with some of these ETFs also. All right, guys, so that's all I got for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. That's our stock ETF summary for the week ending in September the 5th, 2025. I hope everyone has a great day. Stay safe out there, and I will talk to you soon. Peace out.